Welcome to the stress management workshop for COVID crisis.
COVID crisis.
So, my name is Dr. Sarmila Sinha, and I'm with Dr. Suraya Zabin.
Okay, hello everyone again. Welcome to this course, like Dr. Sinha said. Dr. Sinha is a consultant psychiatrist, best-selling author, international speaker, and stress management coach.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Zabin, for the kind introduction. So,
thank you.
As you all know, that we are in the middle of a pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, and people all over the world is affected. So the crisis started in December 2019, and soon it spread throughout the whole world. The World Health Organization declared this as a pandemic in March 2020. And this has brought along chaos, fear, anxiety, and other mental health problems. Those who have pre-existing anxiety, OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder, depression, and other mental health problems, they are particularly at risk of relapse because of the heightened state of anxiety and panic. While fear, stress, and anxiety are natural, and to some extent even normal reaction to this pandemic, however, if they are taking over your life, and if you're unable to function normally, then it is time to take action, to seek help, to manage your stress and anxiety better. You know, we have all heard about social distancing, the government regulations on social distancing, and this can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. I must stress that it's really important to maintain the social distancing at this stage to reduce the rise of the illness. But unfortunately, with social distancing, it can bring along feelings of being left alone and even depression. And the World Health Organization has also recommended to reduce listening to news, reading, or watching COVID-related material which can distress. You can devote an hour a day to watch or listen to the update, but there is no sense in spending the whole day watching negative news because this can only worsen the anxiety and panic. Today in this webinar, we are going to teach you or share with you information around stress, and then we are going to share 3 strategies for stress management and productivity. This will help you to stay calm and stay focused on things that you can control, keep you motivated and inspired. It will control your state of mind by recognizing and changing negative worrying thoughts, improve your health and well-being, and boost your productivity. Now, these are some of the things which we will be dealing with more in detail in upcoming courses. Now, the 3 strategies for stress management and productivity that we will be discussing in this video. Number 1, facing your fears. How to take practical steps to protect yourself and your loved ones. How to change negative thoughts to more positive ones, which is also known as cognitive restructuring. And developing a routine or ritual and work together with a colleague or team. I will be dealing with the number 1 and 2 strategies, and Dr. Zabin will be talking you through step number 3. Let me introduce Dr. Suraya Zabin to you. She is an aerospace material scientist. She is a workplace stress and productivity expert for science professionals and engineers. She is the founder of Neurobalance Academy and Trustworthy Foundation. Dr. Zabin is an international speaker and is also a mental health activist. And I'm really happy that she is joining us today.
Thank you, Dr. Sinha.
Thank you. So let's move on. I want to talk a bit about what stress means and how it can affect us. Now, we all know that stress affects every one of us at certain times during a lifetime. And this global pandemic that we are experiencing, the COVID-19 pandemic, No doubt it's causing stress and anxiety for all of us. So stress, people can call it as a state of anxiety, worry, hopelessness. Some people even call it as a fight or flight reaction, because stress has been with us since our evolution, and it's really important to keep us alive, the stress response. Now, stress response works through two mechanisms. One is the two main neurochemicals involved, the adrenaline and the cortisol. And both of them work through the brain. The hypothalamus and the pituitary, they are present in the brain, and the adrenal gland, which is present just above the kidneys. So these three parts of our body, they coordinate a cascade of chemical reactions when we experience stress, leading to production of many neurochemicals and hormones, of which adrenaline and cortisol are the most important. In fact, cortisol is also known as the stress hormone. And what does adrenaline and cortisol do to the body? Well, some of the common reactions are, it will raise the heart rate, fast breathing, palpitations, people even start feeling sweaty, cold, clammy extremities. So the whole idea is blood is pushed and rushed to the vital organs of the body to make split-second decisions, to the brain, to the muscles. So it prepares the body for running from the danger or even fighting it. So what stress does then is then it slows down the other parts of the body which are considered non-essential for immediate survival, like the digestive system, the immunity. And these systems, they are near shut down, or they don't function as well. So you can imagine that if your body is producing cortisol every day on long-term basis, what impact can it do to your immunity, to your digestive system? It's going to create problems. So people with raised cortisol level for long term, they suffer from poor immunity. And it's so important to improve health, boost immunity at this time of the pandemic. So stay with us, because we are going to teach you with all the important strategies for stress management. Now, moving on to some of the long-term effects of stress. Well, the long-term effects, it can affect almost every part of the body, like the cardiovascular system. It can raise cholesterol levels, high blood pressure. It can cause abnormalities of the hormone levels, thyroid hormone, prolactin levels, and so on. And the most important thing that I want to mention today is the mental health effects of stress. And in fact, some of the common symptoms people face during stress are trouble sleeping, insomnia, anxiety, panic attacks, irritability, depression, low mood. People even, anybody has addiction problems, it actually kickstarts another addiction. People turn to alcohol, smoking to relieve themselves from stress, but it is really counterproductive. The common important strategies that I'm going to discuss, and the first one is facing your fears. Now, as I mentioned, that stress can sometimes be also fear of the unknown. We don't know what is the problem, and that's why we are stressed. So if you know what the issues are, you can deal with it. But if you are faced with the unknown, there's very little information out there. For instance, the COVID-19, people still don't know what the treatment is, if there's going to be a vaccine available soon. People don't know if they can go back to work, what the financial implications will be, what is going to have an effect on the economy of the country, things like that. There's lots of unknown information, and that can cause a lot of stress. So it's time, if you're facing these fears, it's time to face them head on, rather than letting them fester and ruminate over these issues. Now, the first thing is, make sure that you are safe and your loved ones are safe. So have you taken adequate steps to protect yourself? I'm not going to go through all the details of how to stay safe, because there's lots and lots of information out there by the World Health Organization and the gov.co.uk, which also gives lots of guidelines. The most important step is follow the government guidelines, tips around washing hands, social distancing, and so on. After you have taken all the adequate steps, do you still feel things are out of control? Well, for some people, things could feel out of control, especially if they don't have control over their finances, if their relationships are suffering, if their work life is suffering. So there can be a sense of hopelessness and helplessness. But the worst thing is worrying and fearing the worst outcome is only counterproductive. You're not going to achieve much by simply worrying. So what are the common things you can do? So the first thing is, as I said, face the fears, write down what are your main fears. And then when you write them down, you can actually challenge your fears in a positive way. And I'm going to talk about these strategies in the next section. And just stay with me for a bit longer on this. And then the other tip is distance yourself from too much of the negative media. This is also counterproductive. Surround yourself with positive people, read inspirational quotes. And, I would like to stress this point. It's not game over. COVID, the pandemic, is not here to stay forever. This will finish. This will get over soon, and we have to be prepared that when this is over, when the COVID crisis is over, we are the ones that come out victorious, that you come out victorious, that you have strategies and plans in your life to move on. Because you are still here and life needs to go on. And in that spirit of, sticking together, having a common feeling of optimism, I would like to stress that there is a lot of community spirit as well in these tough times. People, irrespective of race, religion, nationality, are coming together and supporting each other during this time. So it's really, really important to stay positive and facing your fears. Dr. Zubin, I don't know if you would like to add anything here at this time.
I would like to say just a few things. One thing specifically, you mentioned that staying positive,
Yes.
which is really, really important. If you are thinking over and over again the worrying thoughts, then that will make you more worried, and then you can't work, you can't be productive, you can't relax. So it's really, really important to practice feeling positive emotions and also become positive. We've been hearing this from our childhood: be positive, be positive, be positive. But how to be positive? How to think positively? You have the next point. Your next point is change the negative thought from to positive thought. I think that point will illustrate and will demonstrate how you actually do it, how you change the positive negative thoughts to positive thoughts.
Yes.
So
Great.
I will hand over to you.
Thank you. Let's move on. So the next strategy is how to change negative thoughts to more neutral or positive thought. Now, Aaron Beck was an American psychologist, and he first came up with the cognitive triad, which means that our thoughts affects our emotions, and our emotions can affect our behavior. So our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are interrelated, interlinked with each other. If somebody is experiencing negative thought, it could have an impact on their emotions. Like, for instance, negative thought would lead to a sad emotion or an angry emotion. And that, in fact, would lead to a behavior which is actually counterintuitive and is not very helpful. Now, the first step to do is to recognize the negative thoughts. And then following that, the next challenge is to challenge these negative thoughts and replace them with neutral or positive thoughts. Now, in order to illustrate this a bit more, I would like you to join me in doing an exercise. So all you have to do is listen to my instructions. Yeah? So please close your eyes and please inhale deeply and exhale deeply. So breathe in and out deeply. Okay, let's start. Begin, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep your eyes closed and continue breathing. Now imagine or visualize a scenario. You are in your house and you see your postman coming in, dropping a letter, and you go out and you receive the letter. Now continue to close your eyes. Now this letter is a red letter that has come to you from your employer. And for those of you who are in business, this has come from the HMRC or the tax officer. And this letter on the envelope is written, urgent, open immediately. Now, please don't open the letter. Simply hold this letter in your hand. And what is the first thought that comes to your mind? Focus on the first thought that is coming to your mind. What thought are you having? Make a note of that thought. Okay. Now, what is the second thought that has come to your mind? Make a note of it. Okay. So in your mind's eye, you have visualized this urgent, open immediately letter from your employer. And you have recorded the first two thoughts that came to your mind. Now, please open your eyes and please write down these two thoughts that came to your mind. You can write that down in a piece of paper. You could also send it to me via text. You could,
one second.
Yeah.
You could type here in the chat box.
Yes.
The chat box here, you could type here, and then we can see and respond.
Yes. So, while our viewers are doing that, Dr. Zabin, what were your thoughts? Would you like to share what thoughts came to you?
Yeah, sure. So when I visualized it in my mind, and then I saw the letter, and then I said, "Oh my God, here we go again, another trouble." That was my first reaction. And then the second thought was, okay, I have to deal with it. I don't know, whether I want to open it, even though it said open immediately, but I have to deal with it. So then the both thoughts made me, it made me feel fear. So I was fearful, and then I thought that, okay, this is giving me fear, and this is something, but I'm strong enough to deal with it, and I am going to deal with it, and whatever is written there, it will make me strong, and it will make me move me forward.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Right. So I changed my negative thought to positive thought. And immediately I felt that I was a little bit more relaxed, and the solutions, I was thinking about solution, and I was not thinking about problem anymore. I was thinking about solution. What can I do? How can I deal with it better?
Brilliant, brilliant. So I think that was an excellent, strategy, an excellent way that you have dealt with Dr. Zabin. And I think for me personally, and I'm speaking for people, more than 90% of the people, when we see danger, when we see something alarming, the first thing we think is the worst. We think of the worst, we think of the negative thoughts first. So the challenge here, guys, is to tackle these negative thoughts, because thoughts are just thoughts. They're not reality. A thought is just a visualization exercise. We are just visualizing it, just like this exercise. And there's no proof that it has come true, because see, in this exercise, you didn't even open the letter, so you didn't know what was in there, but you were rooting for the worst outcome. This is what happens to most of us. We fear the worst, and that makes our problems worse. So the next part of this challenge is that I would like you to write down your negative thoughts and then counter them with a neutral thoughts or a positive thought. Like Dr. Zabin said, like if you're experiencing a negative thought that, oh, here we go again, this is a bad news from my employer. I'm going to be fired. I'm going to be furloughed. I'm going to lose my job. This is a letter from the HMRC saying that I owe them thousands of pounds and I don't have the money. What's going to happen? So what you can do is then make a column next to all these negative thoughts and then say, you could add thoughts like, well, these thoughts are coming to my mind, but I don't have any proof of them yet. I don't have to fester these thoughts. I don't have to breathe these thoughts until I have the evidence, the objective evidence. So you could be focused in a practical way, be solution focused rather than problem focused. So you could say, well, if I have this scenario where I may be laid off, well, I'm not going to be alone. This is a pandemic. It's affecting everybody. So I am in it and everybody is also in it. So this actually helps you create a sense of belonging, that you are not exclusive. You are sharing a common problem here. So things like that. And in fact, it is not the scope of this webinar to kind of help you with all the negative thoughts because we are limited to time. But in our more in-depth course, in our in-depth program, we actually hold your hand and we walk you through all your negative thoughts and we try to coach you and help you with it. So that's the whole idea. So this next strategy, the third strategy, I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Zabin, and she will walk you through all these other really, really important and exciting points. And I hope you're enjoying so far. Please drop us an email, drop us a comment on how, if you have any questions and if you would like us to upload more videos, because this is, we are going to upload this on YouTube, one of this particular webinar. And if you want further more webinars on any particular topics, please let us know. Okay, over to you, Dr. Zabin.
Thank you, Dr. Sinha. That was an amazing presentation. You gave two very useful and effective strategies. I hope both Jeanette and Pooja, you will start using these strategies, in your life, and you will see how how beneficial are these. And then you will be productive, and your health will be better, because everything is related to your thinking pattern. And it's conscious. We need to put in conscious work. Like Dr. Sinha said, we discuss these points and more exciting points and strategies in our courses in really in depth, and we hold your hand and we sit with you and find your objectives and work with the one by one, work with your negative belief and negative thoughts. Okay, so my strategy is how to stay productive in self-isolation. As you know, this is not easy for anybody to work from home. So in the first week of COVID-19, I also, I was stuck in my home, wasn't able to go anywhere, and that made me feel really uncertain. I was still uncertain about things, and I was in a fear, and that made me feel bored. But I overcome it, and then one strategy that really helped is I have a partner, accountability partner, work partner, and a friend, as you can see in the slide on the same slide, please. Yeah, on the right hand side, she is Marina. So we sit together and on a conference call, and we work on our projects. So find a work or accountability partner, and who has the same interest and similar type of projects and similar type of ambition, and work with them. Set an exact time to start work in the morning and throughout the day. So, for example, we start from at exactly 8 a.m. in the morning. And then how you do it, I'm going to explain in the next slide. And use Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro means tomato, and it is like set your timer for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or for a specific time, and focus on one specific task. You are not allowed to check your Facebook status. You are not allowed to do anything else. You are just constantly will focus 40 minutes or 45 minutes on a specific task. So then then to sustain this type of system, you need to do a couple of things. One is exercise, physical exercise. Physical exercise is linked with the brain function, and it emits neurotransmitter. So commit at least 5 minutes physical exercise in the morning. So when I do exercise, 5-minute exercise in the morning, it helps me throughout the day. So it keeps me motivated, and it gives me boost my energy, and it has other physical effect, but it helps with focus and concentration as well. So commit just a 5-minute exercise, and during the day, 5 minutes mental relaxation or mental exercise, any form, meditation. It can be meditation or relaxation or breathing exercise. It can be anything, but it is really important to engage in 5-minute relaxation exercise. So I would like to ask Dr. Sinha about, go back to a previous slide, about the types of physical exercise that they can do in 5 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Zabin. That was really helpful. So I'll share with you the ones that I do personally. So I do jumping jacks and or the star jumps for about 20 to 30 times, and then I also do. Sometimes I do the jogging or running on the spot for about 1 minute or 2 minutes, and that gets the heart rate faster. So it's quite powerful and helpful. And the other thing is to do a lot of stretching exercise to keep the flexibility of the body and to keep the muscles, in shape. The other thing is also to pay attention is the core muscles of the body. Now, there are some Pilates and yoga moves, and this is something we will share with you later on. Some Pilates and yoga move, which actually the plank position and certain positions where you actually, the abdomen area and the back area. So you are causing some tension there, and that actually helps improve the core muscles of the body. They're really, really useful, and it's really important to stress you can do any other physical exercise, even walking in your garden if you've got, walking in your living room, in the kitchen area, and doing house chores. Any of these would be considered as exercise.
Thank you for those beautiful tips. And I will share with you a link of 4-minute exercise, 4 or 5-minute exercise, 4 exercises that I do, and they have a YouTube video. So I follow that video and do those exercises. They are very simple exercises. Like Dr. Sinha said, plank, there is one exercise, plank, and then push up. Those are very simple exercises, and it takes only 5 minutes. Who wouldn't spend 5 minutes to reap the result for the whole day? Who wouldn't?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So then, okay, let me give you a little bit structure of how you actually structure your day and get the most out of your day. This is, I named it power of target and accountability. You have to set a target for the month. For 3 months target, so you are going to achieve this specific goal over 3 months. then what are you going to do in 1 month, and break it down to 1 week, and then again break it down to a day. So you have to set a target for the day, set your target, and be flex be realistic about your target. Because if you're not realistic, if you give yourselves too much to do, and then at the end of the day you can't do it, then you will feel frustrated. We don't want you to feel frustrated. We want to feel you motivated. And when you give yourself specific target that you can accomplish by the end of the day, and when you accomplish it, you will feel amazing. That effect will motivate you. So here is how you do it. Say you are going to do 4.5 hours of productive focused work per day. For example, that's just half of the day, half of the working day. So then your one session will be 90 minutes. Set a 90-minute session and say that within this 90 minutes, I will achieve this specific target. For example, if you are learning programming, and say that within this 90 minutes, I will learn part of the, cover 2 lectures or 1 lecture. And then when you set that, then create a Google Doc. And in that doc, create 2 columns, one for your partner, one for yourself. And then in your column, if you have completely finished a 90-minute session in a day, give yourself a complete green square. And if you just finished a 45-minute sessions, give yourself half green field square. And if you haven't finished anything, then give yourself a red square. So if you religiously do it every day, you will see your progress. You will see, in that Google Doc, you will see your progress. And if you see too many reds, then that will motivate you. Say, okay, I'm not being productive. I have to be productive, so I need to improve. I need to be on the green side, not on the red side. And you will compare this, because you have an accountability partner. You will compare this with your accountability partners column as well. And then you can inspire each other, motivate each other to become more productive and get more things done. So we have various, this webinar is on live on Facebook. So I have a couple of people watching there. So I will, because we have varied audience, normally what we would do, either because Dr. Sinha is a doctor and I'm an engineer and scientist, so we cater to mostly doctors and engineers or science professionals. But since we have varied audience here, what we would do, we would give a couple of recommendations that anyone can use. So next slide, please. So first recommendation is use this time of COVID-19 when we all are at home and some of us don't have a direction, don't have a purpose in what to do in this time, other than worrying about what we can't control. So find your strength. What is your strength? And find your passion, what you love, what you really, really love. Then convert it into a business idea. Set your long and short-term goals. We talked a little bit, goals on and objectives, and write your mission and vision statement related to your objectives, and create contents. The life experiences that you or you have, people want to know that. So teach what you know already. These days in the we live in the technology age, so you you can share, you can use any social media platform. It's really easy. So teach what you already know, and people will be benefited from that. Update your CV, because many of our CVs are not updated, and add CV and LinkedIn profile, and add relevant connections, because the more people you know, the more the more two brains and three brains are more better than one brain. So I would like to, Dr. Sinha, I would like to add something on this, on the networking side, how networking helps, and why we should still connect with people right now.
Yes, I would just like to add that, the government has said social distancing, but there is no restriction on you connecting with others through social media, through the power of Facebook, Skype.
Or even phone, normal.
Exactly, the phone. And this is the time to capitalize on technology, because there is no better way. And it doesn't matter, even if it is 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, anytime. That's important. It's important for your mental health as well, because it gives you a sense of belonging. It creates a sense of oneness, that we are all in this together.
Yeah, that is the fifth connection, is the fifth advice that government give to for your mental health, to take care of your mental health. So one of the number 5 guideline is connection. So you need to, like Dr. Sinha said, connection is really, really important, talking to others. Otherwise, on your own, it's not easy. Human beings are social animals, so we have to be connected to others. So grow your connections and arrange a video conferencing call with at least 3 people from your professional network. If you are doing business, it will help, because in business you need to connect with the relevant people. Yes. If you are tech savvy, then learn programming language. If you already know any programming language, then next step is learn to do AI. AI is very hot topic, so you can learn AI, and that will in the future bring you some money. And create, if you have a website, then improve your website. If you don't, then think about creating a website.
Next slide, please. AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Stand for that, because I'm not that tech savvy, so I was just wondering what.
Maybe it's time for you to learn if you have time.
I know, right? Yes, I think I should use my time for this as well.
Yeah, because there are particular applications for doctors as well, because this is the application is varied. You can use for various things. So you're a doctor, it doesn't mean that you can't use it. You can use it. It's for doctors as well. It's being used for neuroscience, and it can do amazing things. The predictions. Yeah. So then you can think about starting an affiliate marketing, which is, if you're new and young, then that would probably suit you. And finally, learn, maybe you can learn a new language. I started Spanish, but I didn't go far with it, but I started. Take online courses on personal development, leadership skills, time management, productivity. Spend time on this is the time to take training, right, to build yourself for the better future. And also public speaking. Try to take course on public speaking, presentation skills. So this is next. Okay, that's all from me. I hope you have found value in the 3 strategies that we have shared today with you. And if you liked our video, please share, and somebody might need to hear these words, and then it might motivate somebody.